Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a Smoke and Steel League matchup between the 10th US and the 12th VA today. I will note they're on flip sides from what it shows on the screen. So 10th US will be Union both sides and 12th VA will be CSA both rounds. But anyways, our first map is going to be the Eastwood Skirmish. 12th VA pick the map, 10th US pick the Union side. And then for our second round, the 10th US pick Hooker's Push, which is surprising seeing as CSA has won this a lot as of late. And the 12th VA side picks CSA. So before we get into this, thank you to our YouTube members for the support. If you'd like to support, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Here are the current standings as follows. We'll note we don't have a matchup on July 1st because that is during the 1776 event in War of Rights, and they wanted to take a week off for that. And then our regiments for today, on the 12th VA side, you have Missouri State Guard, 51st Alabama, 7th Texas, Alabama Volunteer Corps, Corn Brigade, Free States Brigade, and the Shenandoah Regulars, whereas on the 10th United States side, you have the 59th New York, the Kentucky Outlaws, Colquitt's Brigade, 2 Corps, Jackson's Division, and the 10th Tennessee. Server pop for tonight, it's currently 297. Union is up by 7 as of now. Union has artillery, they have 5 on it, so it's a 2-man infantry imbalance in favor of the Union side. Frontline reporters for today. On the Union side, you have Red from the 59th New York. Did have a CSA frontline reporter set up, but they have not started streaming yet. But once they do start streaming, hopefully we'll get that POV up for you and introduce them at that point. Co-commentating with me today, we have Corded. Would you like to introduce yourself?
What's up? I am Corded, captain of Delta Company in 6th Louisiana and part of Stonewall Jackson's 2nd Corps. I'm ready to get into this.
There we go. So, Union started this match off pretty aggressively. They moved out, and they are now charging in on this far left side. Union generally likes to go up this far left side if they can take it. They sometimes like to go down the other side, but Union full force is charging through, and CSA is kind of spread out, a little slow to react here.
Yeah, they are. Union is able to get a good foothold here, and CSA is in a position that I know USA Artillery would love for CSA to be in, which they are. Let's see, I think it's just 10th US on these 2 3-ish cannons. They are not quite ready yet, but it looks like they're starting to point the right direction, except for one of them. Okay, 2 of them now. So, well, I don't know when they're going to be ready.
So, yeah, this is real surprising. CSA just kind of let the Union run up to this side of the map and just completely take this corner, something you normally don't see happen on this map. Usually CSA just has their full team respond if a Union pushes up here, and they take it. Especially surprising considering Union sat back and shot for like a minute or 2 and then charged in. CSA had time to react, and they didn't. Anyways, for this map, Union has a 19% ticket advance. The developers did not touch the ticket imbalance of this map in the recent update, similar to our second map, Hooker's Push, but we'll talk more about that there. And then the weapons for this map, Union has a special regiment, the 42nd Pennsylvania, with the Sharps Carbine. Their NCOs have the option of the Scoped and Sharps Carbine, and then they also have the 32nd Pennsylvania with the Springfield 42. So most of the Unions got that buck and ball. CSA Defense, on the other hand, they got the 18th Georgia with the option of the Enfield and the Springfield 55, and they also have the 4th Texas with the option of the Springfield 55, Enfield, and the Springfield 42. So half the CSA team has at least got buck and ball here, and this short fighting here is definitely going to be more awesome for that. But tickets-wise,
yeah, so far it's gone in favor of the CSA so far. I mean, one thing to note is that the Union basically only has 2 flags because one of them houses like 10% of their team in 42nd Pennsylvania. Those Sharps, they only get 17 people on their flag, or in their whole company. The rest of the team has to share groups of 60, as opposed to the CSA, which has a 23, 46, 50, and 23. So they got 4 flags. Union has 3 flags, and then one of those flags they have to share with like what feels like 2 people.
Yep. Yeah, that's a huge disadvantage for the Union side. It sucks on this map. I mean, for the most time, as of late, on a higher pop server, if the CSA can appropriately respond to Union and not let Union get on their flank or in the woods that are to the west side of this map, the CSA generally win this match. And this is, again, kind of a very similar thing to Hooker's Push, where Union attack with only 3 flags because they got a special unit. So, Union, though, starting to shift off. CSA responding pretty much instantly with them. 59th is in the front of this Union group. But, wow. Union's trying to do a little, or rather 10th US is trying to do some little shenanigans here. Unfortunately for them, CSA, for the most part, can see the whole width of the map. It goes from this snake fence on the west side to the kind of past the snake fence on this east side where we saw a Union kind of group up in that corner. CSA is starting to move where Union is. Union get to that corner first. And I'm surprised CSA aren't fully pursuing. But, I mean, they're winning on tickets, so you can't really complain a whole lot.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see Union Artillery start to do some work as CSA just kind of huddles in the corner right now, especially along that snake fence and the corner of it. Union's going to send all their forces over to the right side. So Union Artillery should have no problem hitting the CSA. They get some people there, I think. They knock down a good few.
8th Ohio, 12th VA for CSA, now trying to charge and take back this corner that the Union pushed on. A lot of the Union are sitting in the open field. Looks like Union already may have gotten a hit, but a lot of the Union teams are sitting in the open field shooting it out with the CSA, which is really surprising. Especially when a part of the Union team is trying to hold this corner here in melee. I mean, it's only a matter of time before CSA start to take it back. 30th Ohio is now shifting over for CSA as well. You got more Union following as well.
Now, what Union could do is, as people die here, spawn them at main and then send them over to the left side. Because usually, if CSA is focused over here, they're not really paying attention to that eastern side. But they would. ABC is going to be the people that would spot them if anybody would. Because from CSA's perspective, on that snake fence, it's not easy to see where the Union is coming out of spawn.
So Union actually is sending their whole team now into the corner. 7th Texas is trying to do a flank. Some CSA, though, are just sitting back. FSB, it looks like they're now starting to go in. CSA is a little outnumbered on the side.
I see all CSA is committing to that side.
And wow, how is Union? I think it's just slow CSA reaction time here to Union advances. I mean, CSA has had plenty of time to respond to what the Union's been doing in terms of their movement. They just haven't been reacting right away, and maybe it's intentional. I don't know. But you generally, as CSA, don't want Union to just get on your initial defensive line and then potentially have a room to get behind it into the woods, which actually a good chunk of CSA is sitting back here in the woods, maybe forming up. We'll see. It's that first group that hit the Union, 12th VA and Corn Brigade. But
I think one reason Union was able to get a little foothold here is that CSA was not really in a position to shoot up the Union as they did before on that eastern side. Because the CSA that's in the corn right now, or even on the outside of it, on the forest side, they still don't have good shots into the corn. And now Union's crossing over into it. And it's not going to be an easy job for CSA to clear all the Union out of there. Other than just trying to hunt the flags, but they're trying to keep their flags safe outside of the corn.
JD, 10th Tennessee, TKO, at least for Union, are going through the corn. Very spread out. Some 6LA guys here as well. CSA in the woods popping shots, but as Cord had mentioned, maybe not the best visibility. Now Union's getting in the woods a little bit, but a little spread out. Union's in engaged. CSA shortly to follow.
Oh my god, we annihilated them.
I don't know why Union's only trickling forward here into the woods.
The weather, it was dry. The sun so hot, oh, today, Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, don't you cry for me. I come from Alabama,
So now 2 Corps pushing up for Union as well, starting to get shots. And they're actually charging in, trying to hit this flank of the CSA far left. And CSA should be hitting engaged. There you go. CSA will hold this because, as Corden mentioned, Union's not bringing up their flags, trying to keep them safe, which is a fair idea from Union here. They're not going to be able to take that ground in the woods, per se, with CSA having their flags there. However, if Union's just trying to deal damage, you know, it's not necessarily a bad idea to go in on themselves. 59th is now going up in the woods. I don't know why they're bringing a flag with them. You'd also have a lot of Union charging on that corner there. Union should win on that corner. Wintermute turns around with that flag. 59th hits ABC kind of in the back. And they completely wiped ABC there relatively quickly. Union charging in on the corner. Some FSB, 51st Alabama guys trying to hold here. And Union is going to be able to take that. Meanwhile, CSA now moving out of the wood line. 12th VA is pushing out with some MSG guys. They're trying to assist the corner. Unfortunately, they're only going in by themselves. And they're kind of outnumbered. 59th New York pulled back from the woods into the corn as well. And now 12th VA is engaging with the Union.
If the rest of the CSA starts to come in, they would have a chance to push Union back from this corn. And that's going to be the biggest advantage that CSA can get, is distance from the Union. Because when Union is up close, like they've been in the corn, you know, they've either got buck and ball or they've got sharps rifles. And that is not great for a CSA team that has not anything very special. You know, CSA has less tickets, and they're kind of outgunned.
So
only real advantage they have is this wide open field that Union has to cross in order to get to the CSA, and they have more flags. That does help a lot.
Yep. Unfortunately, though, one of those flags, well, one of them was down, but Johnny Lee from 12th VA picked that up. 59th did a little flank charge into where 12th VA was. Did some damage, but it looks like they lost a flag in the process. Union should be able to get that back, though. And, I mean, overall, really great start for Union. CSA's kind of reacted a little slow on things, allowing the Union kind of go where they want. Obviously, maybe not all the situations have worked for Union, like that initial push-up from the Union team up on the far left side. You know, they got the ground, but they took a lot of ticket loss. Now they've pushed up on the right side pretty much uncontested, and CSA was maybe thinking they would try to do the same thing, but as Corden mentioned, maybe out of position there a little bit. And Union now has completely brought that ticket lead that CSA had. It's back to nothing. So, great start for Union as an attacker. If you keep the tickets even, you're doing a great job. And I mean, both sides being a morale and a half stage down within the first third of the match is pretty impressive, especially considering generally around the 30-minute mark where we're at right now. As an attacker, you want to hit the defender down to engage, at least if you're trying to keep a consistent pace throughout the whole round. So,
Come on, Tennessee. Let's go. Up and over.
Union, CSA, both performing. Everyone was able to pick their flags back up. And Union has won this initial defensive line.
Tennessee, make sure you boys got your bucket ball. You ready?
So,
Get on that fucking straight line.
Union has less flags. I wonder if they're going to go charge their flags forward.
Oh, look at that. Beep, beep.
If they do as a team try to push forward. I don't know if they will.
I'm loading my bucking ball. Load your bucking ball, Greg.
Because if Union can get in the woods with flags and respawn back here, it'd be great. But if Union obviously loses the flags in the woods, Union's not going to be very likely to get them back. That's a 5-minute despawn timer time if the flags are killed and they're on the ground. 5 minutes until they despawn. And if the flags are down, Union can't get respawns in the fight. They can only spawn at main, and that means CSA would be able to push up and retake the ground. So, you know, it's Union's call. Nothing's really, I don't know. Not any options particularly bad. CSA's kind of reacted a little slowly, so a lot of the CSA, though, are falling really back into this wood line, trying to play the time here. Bait Union in.
Yeah, playing time is fine. I foresee this going to a breaking game without really needing to worry about the timer.
Yep.
Because Union is eventually going to push up as they are now, and now it's going to be a close quarter fight, and those tickets are going to go down for both teams pretty quickly.
So yeah, 10th US, I see some JD pushing forward as well. And yeah, buck and ball in the woods. It should be chaos. Union. Oh, okay, a lot more Union are now starting to trickle forward. 10th Tennessee, apologies. TKO not doing that as well. Union not bringing the flags forward. They're just kind of going in, trying to deal some damage here, bring everyone's tickets down.
Get him, go, 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 go.
Back here on the logs, back here on the logs.
Regulars, pull it back! Regulars, to me!
The only thing I would watch out if I were Union is the tickets, because you're sending groups forward. Sure, they're dealing some damage, but they're dying. Union doesn't want to get down too many tickets on this. Not that they would necessarily be down on tickets, but when you're sending groups forward independently, CSA could defeat in detail, and it could make it easy for CSA to get some nice tickets. I mean, CSA is starting to get maybe a slight lead here. 6LA is now pushing into the woods on the Union right side. 59th is kind of going up this center with 5th VA. And I'm pretty sure it's out of bounds for Union at this road, so Union can't... I mean, they could charge into the CSA like we see 5th VA doing, but they got a limited time there.
Sit down. I'm gonna use my sword on you, Yankee.
Kill me one.
Everyone, go, go, go. I go last. I go last. You go.
So Union has, I see, one flag in the woods right now. Stars got it with the 59th. I mean, CSA has given up the ground, so it wouldn't necessarily be surprising to see Union push those flags in, because it's not like CSA would necessarily charge them out. I mean, they could. Union's kept 2 flags, though, back in the kind of in the center of the map there.
They're all over the fucking front of us.
Fire wheel southeast.
10 Tennessee to the right of the 59th New York. Form off of my right.
Raise,
Boys,
boys, raise.
in on flag.
We've got 7th Texas flanking that Union group. We're going to go all the way in.
Yeah,
I know 59th Tennessee did spot them. I don't know if they're going to wrap around them.
Oh, they're right there.
yeah, they got a good flank on them.
Take it right there. Take it straight ahead. That's all Yankee over there, boys.
I need 2 over here, please.
Fire, boys. Fire. Straight ahead.
Now, this flag group could
Pick up that flag.
take the left side if they wanted to, but right now there's not much of a need. They could also just advance a little bit farther into the corn. This eastern side is pretty safe for Union right now. 59th Tennessee have already stood there. They can see into the woods. They know it's a pretty safe area.
Let these guys up to our front.
And 59th is going straight in. Buck and ball on the flank here. They get a couple good... Oh my goodness. 7th Texas is nearly shattered there. And now Red's going to go in with his pistol.
Oh, I think he got team killed.
He did. Yeah, you're right.
Get that flag out of here, boys. Get that flag out.
Let's call him out. No, I'm kidding. Dixon trying to form the line, but at 59 buck and ball is shredding. CSA will be able to get that flag out. Union right side in the woods is kind of falling back a little bit, but it looks like they are reforming on the snake fence on their side of the corn.
CSA has got this nice long line. They've got a little bit of a ticket advantage, not much. Not one to really get comfortable with. Young's going to get their numbers back. A few people spawning at main. Overall, they're probably going to be ready to go back in soon.
Yep. And they got plenty of time so they can sit back and relax, enjoy the beautiful War of Rights scenery. And they only got to hit CSA one more morale stage, and
Where was that?
they get them down to breaking. I did just see this in a server announcement, but I think it might be important to know. It's a 15-man imbalance in favor of the Union side. Now, they haven't announced anyone yet for balancing the server announcement. What is it? We're going to need to send some Yanks to come over. 16-man imbalance. I'm not saying who yet, so...
Need 8-ish people to go over.
5th VA. There
That's
we go.
Probably what's going to happen. They're typically the balanced team, sadly.
They should just change their tags to 6
They
LA
just
for the
cut-
event.
It seemed like they just called a ceasefire, and they didn't, but that's what it feels like.
Oh.
There we go. I was like, it got really quiet. Was there a rule I didn't know about?
That volley from 6LA there gets them down to taking losses. CSA starting to leave their further defensive positions, getting kind of close to the core, not all the way there yet. Trying to keep up the fire on Union. JD is balancing people over. Interesting. Well, appreciate JD for the balance. So, Union actually moved the group up to the far left side of the map. CQB pushed up there. Looks like it's the Sharps for the Union team, so it makes sense. These weapons, they're very short in length, so they're not that great in melee. However, with the fast reloading time, reloading at double the speed of your normal weapon in this game, very good at shooting. Not so much charging again, so that's not a bad idea from CQB. Meanwhile, Union's starting to push forward again on this right side. 10th US going on that east-southeast side of the snake fence, trying to get some side shots in the CSA. 59th is going in right on 12th VA. I think 12th VA kind of saw him, though.
Let's go. Get him to go.
Yeah, they should be able to do some damage to 12th VA.
That's what I don't get from CSA, is 12th VA was just sitting up here on their own. I know they're the leading regiment and you got to see what's going on, and obviously this map ain't great for that, but why would you put yourself up so far forward without your friendlies? I mean, just zooming out here, CSA has spread themselves out, which is a kind of good. It's great for the Union. I mean,
Union doesn't have to go very far to encounter a CSA group.
And on top of that, Union doesn't have to send everybody to go in. Union's just been sending own individual regiments for this whole match, and it's working with the CSA, at least doing what they're doing now. Some JD guys are charging into Corn Brigade, just holding the far left of the Union team, which Corn Brigade holds that pretty easily. Some of the 6LA guys are charging deep into CSA territory, trying to get a CSA flag down, but they're not out of bounds and got to run back. And meanwhile, Union is currently capping the point. 7th Texas is on it for CSA. And Union is down on tickets right now. Union doesn't need to early cap, but it would not hurt them. I don't know. I mean, I do know, but I don't know why I said that. But it wouldn't hurt them necessarily. It's not like Union's up by a lot of tickets, and so it would stop the black timer, give them more time. If the Union was up by a lot of tickets and they early capped here, that would suck because CSA could regain their tickets up to the percentage of tickets that the attackers are at. But again, that's only if the attackers are up on tickets, which Union, not really. So Union capped 7-minute counterattack. If the Union hold it for 7 minutes, they win. However, CSA, obviously, they need to retake the point before the gold timer hits 0. Will note, the roles have flipped. So Union is now considered the defending team. CSA is considered the attacking team. And that means Union can hit last stand. CSA can hit final push. And if the CSA pushes the Union into last stand, or CSA pushes Union to last stand, and they capture the point, they can win automatically. And morale stage and a half, and now 6.5 minutes. Maybe it's possible.
I do want to note, for the 42nd Pennsylvania, they do have scopes on their rifles for sergeant majors and first sergeants. Few of them have that. I don't know if we ever implemented rules for those things. I don't think we did, because we have like unlimited NCOs.
That's what I'm here for.
So
I'm here to
I don't know. Take that advice next time y'all play with one of these regiments.
Wait, are you saying are they all scoped?
No, well they could be if they wanted to. I don't think we made rules for like limiting the amount of scoped rifles you get.
Oh.
Because they took class restrictions off to have multiple officers. So there's almost every regiment has more than 4 NCOs. So they could just go all scopes.
That would be funny.
That would be something we would do.
Yeah. Well, you just spoiled it.
Yeah, that's gonna be the map we pick is gonna be like auto share or something.
So imbalance is much better now. CSA up by 7 right now with 315 total pop. Union has 5 on already, so it's a 12-man infantry imbalance at this point in favor of CSA. But again, Union's down a little bit on tickets. CSA is starting to retake the point. I think that the cap was accidental. I don't think that was what they wanted. Not that it was necessarily a bad thing.
Eh.
Is what it is.
Doesn't make much of a difference for Union.
No, it does not.
Just a side note. Do you know if the Sharps carbines in Holcomb Legion get scopes?
Sharps?
Or have the option?
I
I can't remember.
would assume so.
Because then, like, the Progress Mill will be the only map, or Empire 4 will be the only maps that have, where both teams get Sharps. To some extent.
All right.
I guess for Holcomb's, it's only, unless they changed it, it was only corporals for a long time that got Sharps or something, or a non-sergeant major for a sergeant rank that got those. But Union just staying still. It's got one CSA guy, Yeater. He's coming up and he's trying to sneak up on the Union.
He's gonna single-handedly save the CSA
Get a little
team.
scouting.
So we do have our CSA frontline reporter here now. It's Seasoning from 12th VA. Appreciate his POV on the ground, so we can see what's going on the ground and also see what's going on in the sky. So now we got both frontline reporters, and the scoreboard is intact. Huzzah! So
Yeah, Union's eventually gonna have to start pushing in because I don't think they're gonna be. I think they're gonna be satisfied with shooting for this long, because it's gonna get boring pretty quickly.
They got 19 minutes though, and I mean they've got to get CSA down about a half a stage. Yeah, I mean it kind of just comes down to what Corda just said. Does Union have the patience to do it?
I think they'll at least push up to the front of the corn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, why not?
I don't. Can you cap from the left side in the corn?
I think they did. So I didn't really see any Union outside the corn on the point. So I think that a little bit of that corner of the corn is on point.
It wouldn't surprise me. Oh.
Yeah. I really want them to do a full Union volley. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be hype.
Let's just send that message down to somebody.
I hadn't seen that since the what was it? Shiloh reenactment.
I haven't seen it since like the Antietam reenactment.
The one I saw at least on the Shiloh reenactment was I saw 2 of them. One of them was accidental, which it was funny. It was like the CSA started shooting at the Union earlier than they were supposed to, and then all the Union guys simultaneously agreed to volley at the same time without talking to each other. It was pretty epic.
Yeah. Something that I just noticed about the smoke is that the particles will just spin a lot.
Oh, you're not kidding.
I've never. I don't know if it's new or something.
It's like a square thing. What the heck?
Yeah, they just roll. Wait, wow.
That's crazy.
I don't like it. Now that I see it.
Oh my goodness. Why would you ruin this for me, Corder? It's like
it doesn't need to spin, y'all.
It's like we're watching a basketball game, and then someone's like, "Oh, all the cleats or not cleats? Oh my goodness, the shoes are squeaking," and then all you hear is squeak, squeak, squeak. I can mention another thing, but it's like breathing.
Yeah. Yeah, breathe manually for a little bit.
I know.
Then at some point you just go back to automatic somehow.
I know. It's a magical thing. Now you're gonna hear some ASMR here.
I wonder if the cannon smoke spins like that.
Are they about to shoot?
Wait, no.
Maybe we should have done more of those Mythbuster videos.
Because they can't see any of the CSA right now.
They can hit a tree. Imagine if there were
trees.
destructible trees from artillery.
Imagine if they helped on that left side when during that attack.
Yeah. Imagine if artillery hit shots more than 20% of the time.
Imagine if we could actually get them on camera. Because we always show charges, but just magically the artillery isn't there.
You would think artillery would be in the Steam chat with the officers, just to maybe not talk a whole lot, but to just listen for when they're going to do things, especially in an event like this one where there is a Steam chat and the officers communicate with each other.
They spin. Parts of it spins.
It seems like the outer stuff, or maybe
It does, yeah.
or maybe it's just there's so much congested smoke turning in a square, it doesn't look like that. Who knows? Never
It's
mind.
definitely just one big particle that's spinning that I keep seeing.
Copy, southeast corner.
We're gonna make behind the scenes War of Rights creation video before the developers actually do.
Uh-huh.
So Union is capping point. It's probably not. No, they're not gonna fully cap. It's 3/10 US guys, and I mean, CSA a fourth of the way down to breaking. If they do hit breaking, Union can capture and win. So it's a good idea for Union to kind of play this cap game of just pre-capping it. Anyways, 59th on the far, Union right is pushing up. CSA volley just completely missed them. Shot over the head. I don't know if they saw him though.
Can I run something else for you?
I guess. I mean, you're ruining it for anyone
Well,
watching at this particular moment as well.
if you look around the you know the snake fence that some of the Union's on.
Yeah.
If you look at the difference between the gray gray field and the green grass, you can see there's just like I don't know how to say it, but there's like the grid pattern that you can follow.
Oh, I see what you mean. That one's not as bad.
Same as on the other straight fence that a couple of guys are on. I don't know if that's historically accurate because it's a field. It might be actually. Think about it. I'll take it. Kudos Campfire Games. You got me on that one.
As you did you see the Campfires chat episode 2 that they released?
Yeah, they talk for like 3 minutes and
I
then play the
know.
game.
Hey, it was better than the first one though because they actually talked about something.
I know. I need to see the viewer retention. I need the graph.
For me,
I don't know who I could talk to get that information, but
it was I times 2 speed it for the first 7 minutes when they talked about merch and some bug fixes, and then I stopped watching after that. Anyways, Union charging in. They're going to try to hit CSA into breaking. They're going to hit him to breaking 1. They're going to distract him 2 while they let some people hopefully cap it. CSA actually sent guys on point. I don't know who that is, but Union's going in.
yeah, Sharps need to go ahead and move up because why not? Go ahead and get a firing position ready on that point because CSA is eventually going to have to go up there.
So Union, at least where I'm watching, seems to be winning a charge. They got 2 CSA flags down right now. Both sides hit breaking. Point is starting to go back down. Oh my goodness, Union have won in the woods. It looks like Corn Brigade was not even involved in that melee, and Union just kind of ran over and defeated in detail. Wow.
Yeah.
I have not seen a Union team, now assuming they win this, which they are capping, I have not seen a Union team do this well in a while. Union brought their flags up into the woods. AVC and FSB guys are charging onto the point, which CSA has to do at this point, or else they lose a couple 8th Ohio guys charging in as well. Union still taking. A lot of Union still in the woods, though. It's distracting the CSA who are there. And it looks like Union's going to take. You got a horde of CSA charging in, though. Oh, they stop it. Look at that.
Yeah, CSA, they might be able to push Union off. I think they got the numbers for it.
They definitely do.
They just got to hold them at the fence.
Get the flags out of here.
Can't just clear them out on point. Got to keep pushing up. Push up the fence because Union's coming across that field. Go ahead and establish that field to your advantage. Otherwise, Union's just going to cross it. And it's going to shoot you from the fence. And then it's going to be too late and you can't do anything about it. And you're just going to lose a bunch of tickets.
I remember when this same exact
There we go.
situation happened.
We got some people going up.
This same
We just need the
exact,
rest of the CSA team to go.
same
Alright,
exact
there they
thing
go.
happened in BLN Wednesdays, where CSA just sat back on the point, formed one big major line, and we were like, what is CSA doing? And then the Union team just trickled all day long their guys on the point, and CSA, that big line, just completely shot them down, and they somehow pulled it off. But yeah, this is smart strategy from CSA. As mentioned, Union now trying to reinforce that position, is kind of caught in open and kind of panicking here.
Yeah, they gotta follow Union. Gotta get where they are before they can. We got Corn Brigade, ABC trying to shift themselves over to the left side. Union doesn't have a flag over there at the moment, so they would be able to wipe these guys. I got one flag heading over here for 10th US, and another flag that's just running away.
Surprising thing is no one lost flags out of that, more particularly the Union. So a good amount of the Union is at least starting to back off a little bit. Union's going to reform. They got plenty of time on the clock. Tickets fairly even. So, yeah. Wow. It's going to be... You usually don't see attacking teams capture on a defender breaking anymore. Don't necessarily know why.
Alright, gotta be careful of this Union group coming toward the center. JD, 10th US, CQB, all barreling down the road. TKO following behind him as well.
South Texas in a nice spot to get about. Oh, Union Artie, come on! They just
CSA shifting themselves back to the center, helping their guys out in the middle. Let's see what's going to be able to do.
CSA reinforcements have arrived. 7th Texas delaying that for a good amount of time for the rest of the CSA to show up.
CSA is getting a good ticket lead back as Union's only able to trickle in. Couple flags, really close for Union. One of them is down.
If CSA pulls it off, this will be a heck of a swing.
Jesus bringing on flag in, now it goes back down.
Lindsay gets it
Someone
back.
start running that flag. There we go. I guess now their flags are starting to go in the correct direction. One flag's down in the middle of the center of the road.
And
Got
3 people
more
are
Union,
just standing around watching it.
more Union coming down. 2nd Corps on their way in, followed by 10th US and 59th New York.
What is Union doing?
They just keep throwing people in.
The meat grinder. I didn't know the Union was the Soviet Union.
Yeah, more 2nd Corps pulling themselves back. Rest of the Union teams starting to fall back now.
Oh, they got one good push left before they hit final push and have a few minutes left. Man, what a turnaround. It almost went from Union just capping on breaking to now CSA's up about a fourth of a morale stage.
10th US, 59th New York, they're heading over to the western side.
Man,
Some CSA maybe can meet them over there. And I would expect the rest of the Union to not go the same direction. I don't know. None of them are going to that left side. I think you might at least want to send the Sharps that direction.
what direction?
To the east, left side for Union. You'd at least let those Sharps be a nuisance to the CSA.
Right. Union's like trying to half form up here. I mean, they're all running to this right side. Union's kind of just sitting in open field.
Yeah, they're forming up in the middle of the field. That is not going to work.
It seems like ever since CSA won the point area back, Union's just kind of been panicking and don't know what to do.
This is not a good strategy.
This is a collapsing strategy.
Yeah, because, you know, CSA, they've got a much easier shot on Union than the Union has on the CSA, because half the CSA has rifles. All of the Union, except for a few of them,
Yeah.
have basically shotguns.
I don't get why Union wants to get into a shootout and push themselves in the final push at this. Maybe Union's like, well, maybe we can shoot them down the last stand and then charge it. But I don't know how much time the final push timer is. We're going to find out in a second or so. I think
It's not going to be very long.
3-ish minutes.
That's probably about where it is.
So yeah, Union's now starting to spread out, trying to get into a shootout. If they're trying to bring, maybe there's, okay, 3.5 minutes ish. Union's final push. Union's starting to push now towards the center of the map. They don't have time, and at this rate, Union's only going to have one good push. They should get CSA down to last stand, but the question is, can they fully wipe and get the numbers to win point? Union has infinite spawns, limited time. CSA wants to hit last stand. No more respawns for them.
Yeah, Union shouldn't be surprised by final push coming in. You can see your tickets going down, and that timer was already pretty low to begin with. So CSA at least knows the final push is going to be your cue to shift somewhere. At least doing it before final push keeps CSA on their toes just a little bit, at least. Union's sprinting all the way across the field to that corner. They might be able to form something up there, but CSA, they're already getting a lot of guys in that corner. We'll see how much difference buck and ball makes, but a lot of CSA are getting their shots early as Union's crossing the field. So it's like CQB's going to be able to maybe rough some of the CSA up, maybe be a little bit of an obstacle. A lot of the CSA have already made it to that corner.
Wow. 2 minutes left. CSA still not in last stand. Union keeping the flags back, but CSA, that line's not breaking at all. I mean, this is what happens when you make some poor decisions for a couple minutes. It's similar to what we saw with Colquitt's defense. CSA just let the Union on the point and win last week. And now this week, once CSA retook the point area back, Union team just kind of trickled in, and they looked lost for a few minutes there. No organization at all, and that can be enough to cause you to lose a fight. Now, Union's got 1.5 minutes, but they just lost 2 of their flags. And CSA at this point just needs to hold forward on these flags. Don't let Union get them back. Because at this point, most of the Union team's going to have to spawn at main. And they're all dive bombing center, running away from the flags.
And a big reason that CSA was able to keep this advantage and have a very comfortable last minute to the game is because Union has to cross this entire field to be effective really at all. Unions was in the field for like 3 minutes just getting shot by CSA, and then they still had to be in the field as they crossed an entire side of the map. And CSA was able to shoot them the whole way there. So there was no chance of Union being able to make it across the field. That is a big advantage that you cannot discount on any map that has this kind of geography. Same thing for like Hooker's Push and some other map that I can't think of right now, but there are other examples.
But yeah, CSA is going to get a very good win. It looked kind of rough for them for the first part of the match, and I mean, they kept tickets close overall. I mean, they had a huge ticket lead at the start. Union kind of called it back. It was looking really good for Union, and then CSA took it back. Union just got lost and confused, or at least whoever was leading 10th US team got completely confused and distraught. CSA took complete advantage. Really good job from 12th VA, and based on this, I'm a little nervous for 10th US for our next round on Hookers. But Corded, you got any more thoughts for this round?
First off, I didn't even know that Hookers was the next map.
Yep.
That was a pretty lucky guess. We'll see how they play that. But CSA, they played pretty well when it mattered. In the beginning, they had a great start. You had to cross an open field. They were able to shoot them out, get the advantage there. When the Union switched to their right side, we can see CSA was a little slow to react. Union was able to get a good foothold there, and they were able to make their way through the corner into the forest, and that was going to be a big advantage to the CSA, or to the Union, because they have all buck and ball, and attackers usually thrive in the forest because of the ticket advantage.
Yeah, really good first round. Hookers is a much more extreme version of this map. in a bad way for Union. So we'll see what happens next round. Anyways, we'll see you there shortly. And here we are with the start of our second round. So again, as a reminder, 10th US picked this map, Hooker's Push, and 12th VA picked CSA. Unsurprisingly, CSA has a very strong position on this map. Union despite that, has a 19% ticket advantage. The developers did not touch this map at all, which is really surprising because this, as mentioned at the end of last round, this is a repeat of Eastwood Skirmish, but all the problems that Union has on that map, wide open field, only having 3 flags, it's that, but a whole lot worse on this map. Union on this map, they have the first US sharpshooters, which have the sharps, carbine, NCOs have the scopes on those, and then they have the 2nd Wisconsin with the Lorenz and the Springfield 61. Meanwhile, CSA, on the other hand, they have got the 13th Georgia and the 6th Louisiana. Both have the option of the Enfield and the Springfield 55. So, server pop, as of right now, it's 3-man imbalance in favor of CSA side. It was 7 a moment ago, but they said they were bouncing some people over to make sure it was more even. So, we'll see. I mean, it's pretty dang good right now. CSA's up by 2. Artillery-wise, CSA, they've taken 12. Union has 13. So our infantry in balance right now is 3 in favor of CSA. Something Cord had pointed out to me before this is, so right, Union has the sharps. Sorry, it's not the first US sharps, the 2nd US sharps. They changed that like an update or 2 ago. But they've got 20 guys in it. They're limited based on that, having 8 guys on NCOs. Yeah. And then they have their 2nd Wisconsin Infantry Company with 42 guys on it, and their other company with 73. That is 73 people trying to spawn on 1 flag. I don't know why Union balanced it like that, but regardless, it's long spawn times for Union. Corded, in your opinion, how does each side want to play Hooker's Push?
Well, CSA is going to want to use the field like they did in the previous game. Make Union come across it and then just shoot them on the way up. Union, what they're going to want to do is not wait too long to charge, because that's just going to be more people that's going to be spawning on flag while you're needing them in a charge. Union is going to have to expect to take a lot of casualties unless they can kind of misdirect CSA away from the lines that they want to charge. Like if, let's say they got 10th US, they have 10-ish people on that left side, but they've got more than like triple the amount of manpower on this eastern side for CSA. So trying to use the corn to more or less manipulate the CSA into moving one direction or another, or putting more people at one side than they really need to. And CSA, they can see the 3 flags of the Union, so those flags can move wherever they want to show a fake movement of Union soldiers. But when they're just kind of moving along the line, back and forth, CSA can see exactly how long that line is.
And speaking of that, 7th Texas just pushed forward up to the corn, thinking they were getting flank shots in the Union, but there was a lot of Union groups, 59th and 6th LA, that just popped up out of nowhere for them. And I do agree. I think that's a good idea. The issue for Union, right, the moment they pop out in the open field with their team, CSA, for the most part, can see them and respond accordingly. But you can use that corn. Now, obviously, it's going to be hard to do, but if Union wanted to do some manipulation with the corn, Union should have really grouped up on this left side, or rather kept some flags over here, did shooting over here for a while to draw CSA out to the right side of this map, or at least try to. Union left, CSA right, draw them out there, and then push up on this Union right side, because that's the shortest distance to the CSA defensive line and point, is that Union right side.
Mm-hmm. It's typically safer approach for Union is this eastern side, because it's a little bit in the shade, so it does help Union. Just that the shade in general, and then just Union having generally darker uniforms. Union's able to get up on this eastern side. There are hills they're able to take that seem to be easier for Unions somehow. Where CSA is now, I would hope that Union Artillery is going to be able to give us some clips, because this is kind of the area that Union Artillery needs to be watching the whole time. Because this is a place that CSA is almost guaranteed to be, especially in the beginning when Union is charging, particularly in the center, where they are now. Well, not where the Union is, but where the CSA is. And then Union, they're all just sitting in a field, and this gives more time for CSA to react and send more people over to the eastern side. Unless Union's just waiting for more people to come up and join them and then go, like they are now, you don't want to sit too long in the open field, like we saw last game. That can be really damaging. But CSA has not shifted anyone over to the eastern side to help out quite yet. They still have these massive lines overlooking the point, and these are not easy shots for CSA. You can take the point of view of a CSA soldier, and it's not easy to see really any Union silhouettes, and even if you can, it's not an easy shot.
That's for sure. It was showing Seasonings POV there, just as you were mentioning that. Union is starting to push forward on CSA right. As Corden mentioned, Union have liked to do this as of late, go down the CSA right side for the multitude of reasons that Corden mentioned there. Union hasn't really charged down the CSA left side. I mean, you have these rocks, it's the quickest way to get to point, but with CSA having so many guys at this point, it can be difficult for Union to charge up there pretty quickly. So Union just tries to outflank them. But yeah, CSA is not really reacting a whole lot. The advantage for CSA on the point is that they're all hiding kind of in a defilade here, and they're still on point. So Union has to approach them, either charge up over the flank, or try to cap in the open field, or try to do some flanking on the side to break through. And that all is very hard stuff for the Union to do on the open field. And with them having 3 flags, CSA has 4. CSA can out-respawn the Union. So if Union tries to get to any shorter range shootout, it's going to be very difficult for the Union team to win that, just because CSA simply out-respawns them. And you'll generally see, if that happens, a closer range shootout on this map, Union does fine for a couple of minutes, but then their lines slowly start to drop, and they get swept through pretty quickly towards the end there.
Yeah, and one thing that Union or CSA can do is they are able to go into the corn, and if Union is all out in the open field and they're not really moving, CSA can just go into the corn and encircle the Union more. And CSA can react to that. And Union, even if Union has the numbers, they can freak out if they're surrounded like that, and that can be a real advantage. If an attacking team just freaks out, and they could fight, fly, or even freeze, as we could see in other games. Leaders can, leaders leading a whole team of 150 people, they can freeze up not knowing what to do, and that's a lot of time that an opposing team can get some shots in. But we got Union, they've pushed up on this eastern side like many teams have done before, but about half of the Union team is still sitting out close to the corn.
Yeah, CSA just kind of gave up this ground. They're just slowly, retreating. So that's obviously a great start for the Union, but I wonder if CSA is thinking, maybe we bait Union in, make Union kind of get a little confident here, get into a shootout, out-respawn them, and shoot them down and get some flags in the process. So, and I mean, that's the thing too. If CSA do flank around into the corn and try to shoot at the Union, they'll have plenty of time to get out of there if Union does change course and go at them. So the CSA left, 30th Ohio is now starting to shift over, so CSA's got a lot of dudes down on this right side. The Union guys by the corner are not budging at all. TKO, they're just kind of skirmishing there in the rocks. Behind them, you got JD skirmishing there as well, and then 10th US is in the corn. Where's the 2nd US Sharps for the Union? Who is that?
They're on this eastern side is CQB and a couple of 10th US guys.
Well, interesting. Normally you see the inverse. Usually you see all the Union infantry go up, push up to this side if they do that, and they keep the skirmishers kind of behind, but it makes
either that or they
sense
keep them in the corn.
I
said either that or they keep them in the corn.
Yeah. But, and not a bad idea to have them shooting, but again, a little surprising to see them not bring up the whole team. I will say, despite all this, though, they're slightly up on tickets. So it's a little positive there. And now CSA is starting to shift guys. 30th Ohio trying to outflank the Union here. I think Snake Fence here is out of bounds for Union.
It should be.
Peaks and valleys, cuties. All over the fence. Peaks and valleys.
Get it in, spread it out. Right there, boys.
In 30th Ohio, they do have a good angle on the Union. It's at least some point where they can get shots into the side and get Union at least a little uncomfortable. But they are going to need help from the rest of the CSA team if they want to actually put some pressure on this Union attacking group. Because otherwise, Union is just going to gang up on 30th Ohio right here. As you can see, they're shitting a lot of people over to the southern side.
Yep. Good flank, a little outnumbered. 59th is going to go in. I mean, you can be out of bounds for 30 seconds before the game kills you, so it is out of bounds for them.
You want to see on this northern side, TKO from the Union and a couple guys from JD. And 10th US could go in soon. They are shifting themselves over to the center. It would be nice if 10th US comes over this way as well, because then there would be 2 major flanks for the CSA that would be conquered by the Union. There is another group of Union sitting in the corner. I guess that might be holding the flags. They do not have any flags. They have brought a cannon up. They brought 2 cannons up all the way.
I have not seen this before.
I also have not seen this. I want to commend this because now snake fences are destructible. Because that is a newer thing that artillery has been able to do. We'll see if that works out. I think it should be fine because Union can run through a lot of ammo. Because there's a whole 15 minutes that they haven't been using. Except for the 1 shell that's already gone. I don't know what happened to it.
So 12th VA pushes up on CSA right. They're trying to get close. Not really reinforced by a whole lot of friendlies. MSGs with them. I mean, not a bad idea, but they're only going in on their own. I mean, CSA hits engaged first. Tonight has been full of surprises for me. I would not have expected Union to be have a ticket lead and hit CSA into engage by this point in the match. That's for sure. But I mean, CSA is kind of playing a bend don't break, slowly falling back. They've kind of been defeated in detail in that sense as well, at least their right flank. Meanwhile, 7th Texas is pushing up alongside 12th B, is completely getting shot up. 10th US and TKO pushed up there on the flank. And TKO is running through point, now trying to get off it because Union does not want to early cap and give CSA some tickets back. More CSA going to the flank on the southeast south side, and a lot of CSA are slowly starting to push up here and get into a close range shootout with the Union, which CSA is not bringing their flags up. They're bringing one up, but Union's still capping. And they get off. But CSA is at least starting to encircle the Union on this Union forward push here. Union has 2 flags up here. CSA has 2 flags close. And looks like one of them's a little further back. I don't know where the 4th CSA flag is. It's probably over here. Yep, to the southeast south. And CSA is starting to slowly whittle down Union.
They are. 10th US, 59th New York had to pull back from that southern side, or the southeast side. 8th Ohio is trying to push themselves up a little bit more, getting up closer to the Union. And also JD, 7th Texas, and 12th VA, MSG as well. They're starting to push themselves up. They're working on flag spawns right now. Big push from the Union coming from the corn side. Once they've got their artillery up, and they've got a bunch of people that switch from artillery back to infantry. Union only has 5 people left on the artillery. So Union infantry has a bit more reinforcement now. CSA already still has 10 people on it.
So Union's up 8 infantry right now. And Union is almost up by a half a morale stage. What is happening? This is not how Hookers goes.
Yeah. TKO, they've shifted themselves all the way to the western side of the CSA. And 12th VA is trying to defeat them in detail. And TKO is trying to get some tickets on these guys. They're being a nice distraction for the CSA company.
Yeah, it's less CSA guys shooting on the Union, and I mean, TKO, sure, they might lose a good amount of tickets, but I mean, the Union side, it gives them time to reform, precious time too, especially since, again, Union has a lot of guys needing to spawn on a flag or so. Now Union's up by over a half morale stage. This is not the Hooker's push, I know.
Yeah, and Union is starting to push up now. They feel they have the advantage, and it looks like they do have it. 30th Ohio is the farthest group forward for CSA, and they're going to get outnumbered pretty soon. They're going to have to be relying on some of the artillery work from the guys behind them. They only have 2 cannons to work with, though.
And 30th is now falling back. Seeing Union there. Man, what is going on here?
Well, right now CSA doesn't really have any artillery to work with other than those 2 guns, and it's a lot. That's only 2 people. Two guns per line is not much, and that, you can see that shot went over. I know how well this next shot's gonna go. No one has primed that kid, and okay, they did died.
The CSA, they seem scared to get in the close engagement with the Union as a team anyway. Sure, individual groups might be doing it, but they're not doing it as a team. CSA knows they can out-respawn Union, so I don't understand why CSA is just not taking their whole team and getting up and aggressive. Sure, you're going to lose a lot of tickets, but what you're doing now obviously has not been working at all. You're down almost 3/4 of a morale stage now, and Union just kind of bullying you around when they really shouldn't be.
Yeah, CSA either has to pull back or push forward. They can't really stay in this middle ground area because Union's gonna get closer. They're gonna get into close range, and Union is gonna love being in close range with CSA because they're attacking. They can afford to be more aggressive. It's worked out for them so far.
Yeah, it's just because CSA is not putting their full team way behind it. Yeah, CSA at this point, they either have to fall back, turtle almost in a sense, maybe not if Union early caps, because CSA needs to regain tickets badly now, or CSA needs to push forward as a team and just get aggressive on the Union. Maybe not charge, but just close to a shootout, you'll push the Union out completely. Union right side of this line here is capping. It's 2 core. They're now running off of it. Smartly so, and CSA is going to hit taking losses. CSA's got to make a decision. They're playing this middle ground right now. You can't play middle ground here for this. This is not the strategy for CSA. I know you're trying to stay in cover, but either completely fall back or get close to the Union.
Now, I would really hope that this 3-inch cannon has canister loaded. I have a feeling it does not. Yeah. I don't think it does, but it would be great because this is a near perfect alignment for canister to rip through this entire Union line.
I think it's aimed too far left. Oh, we'll see.
Well, I feel like it's probably not. It's not canister, but it hit people.
It hit
now,
people.
load it quickly, please. Please, I want to see some shots. Rarely see good canister work.
Let's just play Burnside's Bridge.
Is it? Even at this range, the 3-inch canister is going to still have a pretty tight grouping. It's going to be able to rip through a lot of the Union. Do not underestimate it.
So,
especially lined up like this.
CSA, 30th Ohio ran out on the point, I think trying to get a flank. The whole Union team turned their direction and 30th Ohio left. So what we saw from, was it JD last week on Colquitt's defense? They did a similar thing at the end of that round. It's always funny to watch that. Not a bad idea from them there. Union halfway through engaged. CSA had taken losses. And here's the thing, right? Union's starting to bunch up a little more, trying to get into that cover. CSA just needs to inch forward.
Yeah, CSA can press the advantage of having faster spawns than the Union does, but they can't stay at these mid to long ranges and do that.
I will say, you never know, right? The Union seemed pretty good through most of the last round, and CSA took it back at the end, so plenty of time for that. You normally don't see that in matches a whole lot. Like, last round, it was like, it swung heavily in, like, Union, it was in their favor initially. It swung heavily in CSA's favor, then it swung back in Union's favor a good amount, then it really swung in CSA's favor and they won the match. Matches usually don't go like, sometimes, most of the time they don't normally go like that. Usually one team just slowly dominates or completely dominates. So
Yeah. Second Corps staying low. They are holding their shots right now. I think they're
CSA
expecting CSA to push up.
they are.
Look at him. They're doing some sort of gay flag dance.
So 12th VA inched forward in the center. 7th Texas pushed up to the rocks. And, I mean, CSA really spread out compared to the Union. And, I mean, generally, even if each side is the same respawn, if one group's clumped up and the other side's really spread out, the team that's really spread out, they're just shooting into a blob. If they miss the first guy, they're probably going to hit the second guy. You would hope if they're at least accuracy, aiming level's fine. But if you're Union in a blob just trying to shoot out, it's a lot harder to get kills. And you can see the Union team is starting to get battered here a little bit as CSA slowly inches their way forward now.
Yeah, CSA's got a good strategy, keeping themselves spread out. Getting some superior shooting in.
Union already is missing CSA just because CSA is slightly deflated. It's going to be hard shots for those Union guns there. And if you're Union at this point, right, if you're starting to realize your line is dying, you got to start pulling back a little bit. Obviously, get more cover, but you need to protect your flags. I mean, Union main spawn, it's about a good 3.5, 4 minutes out of the fight, just running, not including trying to get your bayonet and reload. And so, you can't lose your flags this deep into CSA territory. That's going to kill, you know, the next 7-8 minutes of the game for Union, because the issue is, if Union loses their flags, 5-minute despawn timer, right? By the time that 5 minutes is up, Union just barely gets back into the fight because they all got to spawn at main, get their bayonets and reloads, then run up. By the time they get up here, then the flags despawn. Then they got to wait for the flags to spawn in at main and someone to run up here. It can really have a domino effect. So Union just got to watch with that. And Union is so far playing this well. CSA still pushing up here very slowly.
Now, CSA, I think what they should just be doing the same thing and then just keep pushing themselves forward. Because what they could at least do is keep up the ticket drain that they have right now. Because if CSA pushes up too much, Union's just going to fall back and the ticket bleed for Union is going to stop. But if CSA, you know, makes the Union think they could hold out for a little bit longer, then the ticket drain is going to keep progressing for Union.
So Union hits taking losses. It looks now that CSA's up or down about 1/4 of a stage, but that'll grow. Bars are visually longer than what we see. So Union won't start dropping through taking losses for a minute or so, and then once they do, they'll start dropping. So
Now, another Union group, TKO, once again, heading over to the western side. Going to cause some havoc.
yeah, if
They should be spotted by somebody, but no one's reacting to them yet.
If I were CSA, I would almost ignore TKO. Because, like we saw last time, it pulled, what, 12th VA off to charge them, and that gave Union time to kind of reform as CSA was distracted by him. If CSA just doesn't pay attention to, you know, I don't know how many guys TKO has, like 10-ish dudes that are just sitting back and shooting at your flank, sure, they're going to get some kills, but they shouldn't change a whole lot shooting from that distance. So you could have a couple of guys shooting at them. They don't have a flag, but...
Right. CSA getting pretty close. Be cool to see if they could send some guys over to the northwest and flank the Union's right side. Make sure they can't get back to their spawn or back to their artillery.
Oh, they're falling for TKO, it looks like. At least MSG and 12th VA have turned around, but 7th Texas is pushing forward.
Jeez, that's a lot of people. For a group that doesn't have a flag.
Right. CSA already...
Oh, gosh.
Hey, they killed one TKO guy. They also got a team killer, too. So, you know, balance. Yeah, this is a mistake. Oh, my goodness. More CSA are following them as well. AVC is going with 2 flags. MSG as well. A huge overreaction from CSA, and props to TKO on that. But it's giving Union valuable time to spawn guys in.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, it looks like Union's starting to drop through taking losses. So CSA is slowly catching back up. About 1/4 of a stage, it looks like, roughly. But they're still not in a great spot by any means. So they either got to continue this pace or fall back and let Union early cap. I don't know. Decisions. But if CSA does want to turtle and try to force Union to early cap, they're going to have to make that decision soon. Because they don't want to make it when they only are slightly through... sorry. They don't want to make the decision when they only have a couple tickets left and taking losses. Because if they fall back, Union will be like, oh, we have a lot of time, we'll just sit and shoot them down. And then knock them to breaking and cap.
Yeah, Union's able to get a lot of their forces back up and spawned in. 12 JD MSG 12th day, they're still very far back. I don't know what the idea was there. TKO did a wonderful job pulling so many CSA groups over to the side, and TKO, they're gone, by the way. They only got 2 people left. They're on some rocks over to the north, and CSA is just now, like 3 minutes later, heading back to the eastern side to get back in the fight.
10th US better give TKL some medals. My goodness, they are... I mean, CSA should not be doing that by any means, but... I mean, TKO's doing exactly what they need to do, and it's beautiful. I mean, seriously, cannot underestimate. Distract them for a few minutes. What, 3 minutes? How many spawns is that? Like, 24? Right?
That's a lot.
So...
Yeah, we got three flags. I already forgot the math.
No, that's 1 flag. 2 flags there. That's 48. So yeah, I don't count the sharps.
Yeah, you can get a majority of your team back, and the people that were already coming from main spawn. So CSA is now back to like half a morale stage down,
and they're almost in breaking. Now I'll be intrigued to see what Union does at this point. Union can get greedy and try to capture and win off the rip. However, Union will have to push themselves in the middle of an open field. CSA will have the clear advantage unless CSA charges in, which even then they'll have a good advantage. If I were Union, you've been playing great. You have a huge ticket lead. You don't want to put anything at risk, because if you lose your flags, right, you're out of the fight for about half of the rest of the game. So if I were Union, I would just keep doing what I'm doing. You have plenty of time. You should be able to get them down to last stand within the next 15 minutes. So, no need to rush. And that's the thing. CSA, despite being in a really bad spot, are still in a... they still got a okay shot if they can wipe Union flags, but they have shown nothing of that sort. At least the capability of being able to do that. Southeast side of the map here, Union's pushing up on 7th Texas and 51st Alabama. 59th and JD. Just getting shots of them, and CSA instantly fall back. CSA kind of doing a very similar strategy as last round. Kind of just don't engage with the Union, just kind of fall back as you please. Last round, Union made a couple bad mistakes there towards the end, and CSA took complete advantage, but Union does not seem to be doing that as of now. We'll see what happens though when CSA it's breaking. There we go.
CSA, they got people on the point. They're holding it so far. These left side Union groups over to the southeast, they're eventually going to start pushing themselves up, I would imagine. I don't know if there's another Union group that's going to come around and try to get in the CSA's side and start putting pressure on that flank. Maybe pull some CSA that direction. They've been doing it before. Let's see if Union artillery that they pushed up is effective. I haven't seen any clips yet. That shot didn't hit anybody. Didn't even knock people down.
That's what we should do. If I ever see a great arty shot, we'll make that the thumbnail and say artillery controls the round. And it's just the one good shot, nothing else. Hey, Union got a good shot.
It was decent.
I'll respawn in like 20 seconds.
I just need one with canister. Be nice.
We got a bucket list here. CSA's counter battering. That's crazy. At least that gun was shooting near where the Union guns are. That's surprising. Anyway, CSA team is kind of flipping Oh my goodness, they're flipping the map. I haven't heard that out of Corded's mouth since end of last season. Anyways,
I suppose they're flipping the map. CSA Artillery, they don't have the people on it anymore. They don't have the manpower.
what is CSA doing?
That's a great question.
Okay, because here's the thing, right? It's been mentioned a couple. Union got an okay shot. It's been mentioned numerous times that CSA has a huge advantage. They are deflated and can capture the point. Why would you abandon that position when Union can capture and win? They're putting their whole team in the worst possible spot to capture the point from. I know it's not all of them, but what is CSA doing?
What CSA could do is make some
It's over.
massive skirmish line like CSA has done before, just in the opposite direction. It
What are they doing?
it could work. CSA Artillery could come in and save the day with their 3 people.
What?
You can they're defeated people in detail. CSA, they're not coming back in. They're coming across the field.
Oh my
They're, Union has the advantage of having CSA having to cross the field once again.
What am I watching?
This is not a sneak attack.
Union still taking the point. Honestly, there's been 4 rounds this season so far, and if Union takes and wins this will be the 3rd round where there have been brain-baffling decisions in the round so far. We had the Colquitt's defense match last week where the CSA just refused to fight the point when that moment they hit breaking. They at least didn't get close. They started charging in, but by the time they did, it was too late. You had last round Union just trickling a bunch of guys in towards the center, and that was that. And this round, you have CSA flipping the field for literally no reason, giving Union the strongest position on the map. The Wagon Road match last week was fine, from what I remember. But, oh my... What a way to lose. Corded, your thoughts?
I honestly say I've never seen CSA do that before.
Oh shit.
There were times where CSA could have wiped the Union. They did see that they had the advantage. They had the numbers advantage. The tickets were coming back in their direction, but TKO. They pulled a quarter to what felt like a half of the CSA team away, and Union was able to get their numbers back up, and CSA had no more advantages to play. And we'll see if out-of-line tickets played a part in this. It could have. So far, CSA has equal or more out-of-line deaths than the Union did. So far, CSA's got more out-of-line deaths by a margin.
What a round. All right.
Yeah, that's not good, and especially that round, that little reach around.
Updated standings in a moment. And here are the standings for our teams at this current point. I mean, crazy 2 rounds where just individual decisions can impact the whole round in major ways like that. It's surprising to see on hookers you flip the map like that at that point, giving the Union the best ground on the map on the point. That was just confusing. And it's kind of a similar thing with the first round where Union just trickled guys in towards the center at the end and just kind of froze there and got confused. So, hey, I guess that can happen in these competitive events, especially when you only have 4 leading rounds. It can kind of lead to a lot. So I just realized I had the remaining points wrong. I'll fix that quickly. Apologies for that. The remaining possible points and leading rounds, non-leading rounds, that stuff should all be correct now. But yeah, anything can happen. So with that all being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I don't remember if I mentioned this at the beginning, but I am out doing stuff, so I will not be recording Friday events. I may or may not be able to do Saturday, but I should be back on Sunday if everything goes well. But thank you all for watching again. I appreciate you all. I could not do this without you. If you want to support the channel more, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Besides that, though, we have our Discord and our Clips channel in the description. If you like the daily YouTube shorts, go check out our Battle Line Clips channel. But anyways, appreciate you all. again, have a wonderful rest of your night, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.